Hi everyone, it's Kelly at In the Therapy Room podcast, and I'm going live again. And I've been a little bit more prepared this time, getting a bit more used to it. So that's good. So I just wanted to talk to you today about counselling and trust, because going for counselling is really difficult. It's absolutely terrifying going for the first time. And trust's really important. I think a lot of counsellors put a lot of emphasis on their qualifications and their training, and I think trust and the relationship is so much more important than that, because if you don't trust the person you're going to see, then you're not going to open up to them, are you? And yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do with this channel, and have the podcast and my guests, because those are women who, like, so far I think I've known all of them from other activities that I've done. Do have some podcasts coming up where I don't know the women as well, but most of the women I have met them in real life, or I've met them online, and so they trust me enough to come on my channel and share a personal experience that they've had. And that's really important, to build trust so that women feel able to do that. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what counselling is and what happens when you come for counselling. So it's usually quite frightening coming for the first time. Most women who step through the door are quite anxious. They're quite worried about what's going to happen. They're not really sure. The first session is more about getting to know the person who's come for counselling, to find out what issues they've got, and usually it's to help match them with the right counsellor, because it's not just me who does counselling. I have a team as well. So we'll go through all the things that you need to know about counselling, and then I ask a few questions to get to know about what your issue is, and also to make sure that we know of any risk factors, like if you are feeling like you might take your own life, or if you're self-harming, or if someone is abusing you that's in your life. So it's really to get to know you, so that we know where you're at when you start your actual counselling. So the first session is an assessment or a consultation. Now, once you start your counselling, the counsellor will go through the agreement with you. We'll go through some things that kind of like expectations. We call it a contract. It's not really a contract, not like a lawyer's contract. It's more just to talk you through the expectations on both sides, so you both are like clear on things like when to turn up, how often, and also things like, well, what happens if I bump into me counsellor in the supermarket? What's going to happen? Because sometimes clients don't want us to acknowledge them if we see them out and about. Other times they feel rejected if we don't talk to them when we're out and about. So it's setting those sorts of expectations. Now, counselling, you can have as many sessions as you like if you are coming to us, because it's person-centered and it's up to you. So you can come for one session. I wouldn't recommend it, but some people do come for one session, or you can come for a long time. So some of our clients do come for a few sessions, other clients come for years. That does happen. So it's entirely up to you. We do we have to think about ethics when we are providing counselling. So what we don't want to do is for the client to get really attached to the counsellor, and then they become dependent on the counsellor. So we have to watch out for that. We like to do a review every 6 sessions just to see how it's going, make sure the sessions are on track, review goals, see what's going to come up, what the client wants to talk about now. If things have changed, that's fine as well. You don't have to come on the first session and say, right, I want to talk about this issue, and then you realise that actually something else is an issue more that's more urgent to talk about. Maybe not urgent, but yeah, you might want to talk about, you might realise there's something else that's upsetting you more than you thought. So your priorities can change, and that's absolutely fine, but the reviews help to stay on track, to make sure you are meeting the goals that you set out to achieve at the beginning. So it works best with weekly sessions. So we recommend that you have counselling once a week at the same time every week. But we obviously know that life does get in the way sometimes. So if you can't do that, then that's fine. Some clients do want to come less often. But once they start coming, they usually do realise that it's helping, and they do then start coming more regularly. Not everybody, but sometimes that is the case. So if you or your family have been affected by this issue, like the trans ideology, then it's going to be really difficult for you. You're going to have most of society thinking that it's a good thing to be trans and you should be kind and just stop being a bigot and all of that. So that's going to make it really difficult to find a counsellor who you can trust to talk about these issues with, because most of the counsellors that I come across are well and truly captured into this, and they're not going to understand why you're upset about it, potentially. So we obviously understand that here, so we would be able to help you in that way. We're not going to say stop being a bigot or be kind, or yes, we have to affirm. You need to affirm your child who thinks they were born in the wrong body. We're not going to say any of that. It's going to be about exploration, gentle challenging to reframe what's going on in your life so you can see it from different perspectives, because you might be stuck in a perspective that isn't helpful. But at the same time, I don't want to traumatize you by like challenging you loads. However, because that can be re-traumatizing, can't it? If you are talking about an issue and the other person, the counsellor, isn't getting what you mean, then that can make it worse. So you might, if that's you, I mean, we don't work with children, we only work with adults. So I would imagine that it would be mainly, it's mainly parents who come for counselling, and they're going to be estranged from you, and that is a really complex, that brings up really complex feelings for you and your family as well, and also for society, how you explain that to people, because it's a canny small talk topic, isn't it? Oh, have you got any kids? How many have you got? Oh, what they're up to? That can be really tricky if you're not in touch with your children. And you may be the wife of a man who's decided that he is now a trans woman, and that, as I understand, is very, very tricky, and there's a lot of coercive control in there and abuse, which is something that we are aware of and have training in. So you can be assured that we would understand those issues if you were to come for counselling with us. So I would like to invite you, if you are in that situation or you know someone who's in that situation, I'd love you to get in touch with me to find out more, ask any questions that you've got about the counselling that we offer here. You can either have in-person counselling, which is in the northeast of England, or we do online sessions, and the first session is free, so you can book and discuss, have the first session and see if it's a good fit for you and find out more without any risk. Yeah, so that's our counselling service. Or, I didn't say online. We do online counselling as well. Did I say that? I can't remember. Anyway, in person, online. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, which has nothing to do with counselling, is that I'm really excited because I've been having loads of issues with the platform that I've been using to record my podcasts. You'll notice that I've had problems with internet connection and what else? Sound quality and all sorts, and transferring files, and I've been moaning about it. But I'm pleased to say that Descript, who is the company that I use, has come back with the solution. They've got a new way of recording podcasts, and I used it for the first time today, and what a difference. It's amazing. Had no issues with internet speed or anything, which is good because that's what they said when I started using it. Oh, they all said, oh yes, this is great. You don't need a microphone, you don't need headphones, you don't need any equipment, you don't need a fast internet speed. It's fine, it does this, that and the other. It's all singing, all dancing. And then when it came down to it, it was not great, and I thought it was something that I was doing wrong. But no, I've got this new way of doing it, and the quality is so much better. And and it goes straight into the editing. It doesn't even have to download and transcript or anything. It's just fantastic. So I think it's going to be much easier, much quicker to edit, and I'm really excited. So if you would like to be a guest on my podcast, you'd be welcome. I'm looking for women who want to share their stories, their experiences. So just to reiterate, the offering for In the Therapy Room podcast and my counselling service. So either you can speak in public or you can speak in private about your experiences, and it is therapeutic to come and talk about whatever's happened to you, and it's really empowering to share it with others. We have always shared stories with each other, and now that we have the internet, it makes that so much easier. So it doesn't matter where you are in the country or in the world, you can come and join me on my podcast and we can have a conversation. There are slots available you can book through my website. It's kellyoliverdougal.co.uk. If you go on there, there's a page called Be My Guest, and you can book on there. If there isn't a slot that's convenient for you, get in touch with us, because I have got other times available. I just don't like to have too many slots available, because I've got other stuff to do as well, like counselling and stuff like that. So and I also have this other business, a care business, which is also affected by this issue. And so anyway, top and bottom of it is, if those slots don't fit with what you need, let me know, because I do have other availability that isn't on there. So kellyoliverdougal.co.uk, Be My Guest is the page. You can book a slot on there or send me a message through the contact. I think there's a contact page. Anyway, if there isn't, my email address is kelly@kellyoliverdougal.co.uk. You can send me an email and I can reply, or you can send me a message on here and I'll get back to you. So let me know if there's any questions you have about counselling or the podcast you'd like to know more. And I hope you will enjoy the podcast that is coming out. I was going to release it tomorrow, but I've decided to release it today because YouTube seems to like it if you get lots of interaction as soon as the podcast is released. So I'm going to release it tonight at 7 o'clock. And because I think more people will be around and relax and able to watch it at that time. So that's when it's scheduled to publish at 7 o'clock. It is a woman called Dee Twentyman, who I know through business networking, and she's going to talk about natural healing and natural health. She talks a bit about cannabis, about vaccine injuries, and her daughter who was vaccine injured and how she became interested in natural health because of that. So it's a really good podcast. If you haven't seen Lissa on the previous podcast, I would recommend that you go and listen to her podcast because it's really insightful on how hypnosis and NLP techniques have been used to indoctrinate the society that we're living in, not just because of trans, but also loads of other issues as well. So, so lots to think about, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Would love to hear from you. I'm getting some really great feedback from people who have been watching the podcast, which is fantastic. And don't forget to subscribe and like each episode and share with your friends who you think might be interested, because I'd be really pleased to be able to reach more women. It's really important that the women that I have on the podcast, that they are able to tell their story, but also that they're able to be heard, because that's one of the things that is important to be heard, to be understood. It's so therapeutic. It's what we need. So I'm going to leave it there because I've been blathering on for 17 minutes now. But I am planning to go live again, possibly tomorrow, because I was going to say Friday, but I won't have time on Friday. I'm getting my hair done and I'm going to see some houses. So yes, so I'm busy on Friday, so I won't have time to do a live stream then. So maybe tomorrow I will go live again if I can think of something interesting to talk about. Otherwise, I shall see you soon. Bye for now.